Alright guys, hello everyone. This is Alex from Pokemon TCG HQ. We're doing something a little bit different this time. We're gonna do what's generally called, well, let's say a podcast, but a video. But essentially it's a bit of a chat, a bit of a ramble, as you will, about the Pokemon TCG, a lot of the competitive scene. As you guys see from the actual video, Tamao's fucking about with his headset. But yeah, according to his Six Prizes account, he is Pokemon's UK's best player in the UK. So Tamao Cameron.
Thanks for checking that out. I didn't realize anybody ever bothered to look at that.
Hey, once upon a time, we weren't friends, and you know, I thought I had.
You fanboyed me.
I fanboyed you.
You fanboyed my Six Prizes account. I get you.
And of course, our other member of our group, who me and Tamao believe is one of the best players in the UK, and also probably one of the most creative players. We have Charlie Powell as well.
All right, I'll give you the last bit. I don't know about the first.
The last bit.
Yeah.
We all rate you very highly. We'll give you that. All right, guys. So I guess we start off by talking about what's actually gone on in the actual past weekend. We were all at Dortmund Regionals, of course. I guess we should maybe go into our quick thoughts about how we went into Dortmund, what we ended up playing, just how well we done. I know me and Tamao have quite interesting stories considering how he's now very drunk and very looking around everywhere. But yeah, we played some very interesting decks. But let's start off with you, Charlie, I guess.
So I went to Dortmund with a pretty interesting Pidgeot EX Garbodor deck. Definitely not one of the main threats in the metagame. But, you know, I did all right. I got top 64 with a 5-2-2 record. Basically, if any of the ties had become a win, it would have made top 32. So, yeah, pretty close. Had fun. It was an interesting deck.
Yeah, I mean, considering a lot of your opponents would have been just confused about what was actually going on with Pidgeot. No, I guess no one expected, not particularly me or Tamao, thinking Charlie's actually going to play this deck in this large regionals, and we have no idea how it's actually going to pan out for you.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure every round, when I put down my first Pidgeot, they had to read it, which is always a good sign.
Just remind us what it does. It does a mirror move attack, I believe, right?
Yeah, so whatever it was damaged for on your opponent's previous turn, you get to do the same amount back to them.
Okay, not too bad.
And then it's got what I like to call an almost Night Spear. So it does 80 and 20 to the bench. So it's not like the most amazing attack, but it definitely stacks up over a couple of turns.
Definitely. I mean, I'm assuming it wasn't just a Pidgeot EX card in your deck. I mean, you know, we all know what you played with it, but it was played with Garbodor. I was going to say Garbodor EX. It's played with Garbodor, so it's shutting off a lot of decks as well.
Yeah, it shuts off Volcanion, shuts off Greninja. Yeah, shuts off a lot.
And considering these sort of decks, when you're shutting off these kind of things, you're not being one-shotted. So these Pidgeots can actually do a fuck ton of... I'm swearing this video. I shouldn't swear. I apologize. I should not swear. It's doing a lot of damage if it's not just being knocked out in one hit, right? I guess.
Yeah, and I was playing max potions as well. So if they weren't knocking me out in one hit, I could heal back to full and then hit them for whatever they hit me. So it was pretty interesting.
There you go. As one of our creative members of the group, he's playing Pidgeot EX. Tamao, me and you played very interesting matchups. What did you end up playing in the end? Let the listeners know.
So I played a really standard Mega Rayquaza list, but without Puzzle of Time. So I don't really like Puzzle of Time, to be honest. So I just went with a standard list. And I can go through my matchups now because I actually wrote them down because I was sensible.
Considering how strange our ones were, I think we probably should.
Yeah, I don't think I'd have ever remembered it otherwise. So round one, I played against Raichu Giratina, which is technically auto loss, but I did actually win that 2-0. And then round two, I played against Valplume with Regice, etc., and I lost 0-2 to that. It didn't dead draw. I went 1-1 versus Yveltal Hammers round after that. Then I played against Volcanion finally, like a normal matchup, so I won 2-0. Regis Glaceon, I won somehow. I can't even remember how I won that, but I won 1-0. I won the first game in a really long game, and then just refused to give him any prizes game 2 because obviously he's doing 70 a turn, so that's never ever taken anything. I drew with Gyarados, which I was happy with because I had no idea what I was doing in that matchup. Lost 2-0 to Tina Hammers, as expected. Beat Rainbow Road 2-0, which I was surprised about, to be honest, but I kind of figured I had to work out that matchup halfway through.
I guess those two decks are quite similar, actually, aren't they? They just kind of fill up the bench. But one's a non-EX.
Yeah, exactly. It's a non-EX, so it's a bit hard, but managed to get through that. And then just drew a Scissor in the final round to try and get into top 64. So I ended up on 4-2-3. Positive, but it was it wasn't a fun day for me. I just didn't enjoy. I like playing technical matchups where like it's quite even, and I just didn't feel like I was getting any of that throughout the day. So, and it was just all weird stuff that I wasn't prepared for. And no.
Yeah, I guess both of us, like, we both played some ridiculously weird matchups. I mean, like,
we played two of the same people.
We played two of the same people.
Really weird matchups. Yeah.
Yeah. So we both played against the guy who was the Valplume deck. Let's say not a weird deck. Sort of expected to maybe see one.
Super standard, but I think we both lost to him, didn't we?
Oh, that was awful. I think he beat 3 UK players.
He beat Yasin as
well. So he sort of definitely rolled all over all of us. So I played Gyarados, as both of you two know. So my mind going into Dortmund, considering I don't really get to test as much as I'd like to hope. Gardevoir was going to be big, in my opinion. Volcanion was going to be big. The deck that beats both of those, or can beat both of those, I'd like to think is Gyarados. Gyarados hitting 210 for the Gardevoir matchup and just hitting for weakness with Volcanion. My matchups were very similar to Tamao's. Very odd matchups. As I said, we both played Giratina Raichu. So Tamao won and I drew against that guy, somehow sneaking a draw. It's probably worse of an auto loss for myself. I played against Giratina Garbodor, which is Mark Lutz, one of the ECC winners of the past few years, one of Tamao's teammates, I guess, on his Complexity Card Gaming. What else did I play against? We, of course, played a Valplume deck. I played a couple of Yveltals in the last couple of rounds. And in the last round, I was actually winning, in a winning position in game 3, but unfortunately... Unfortunately, because of time, it wasn't going to get anywhere further. And although we had agreed, we both didn't want to draw because it was sort of a win and in match. Even though my board's position was a lot better. And once I knocked out his Yveltal breaks, we didn't really come to a decision. So it ended up that I actually tied a match. So I went 5-2-2 and went top 64 as well, together with Charlie. So it was, I mean, looking at the meta in Dortmund, it was very odd. I wouldn't say odd. It was very even across the board. There was not really a deck which stood out in comparison. I mean, I've actually got a top 32 decks that actually appeared here. Again, thank you to Complexity Card Gaming and Benji, who sort of put together this graph together. The biggest deck was Yveltal Garbodor at 22% and Greninja at 19%. I mean, in comparison to Liverpool, they were both under 10% each. Was this something that you guys considered to actually happen for Dortmund?
I knew that Yveltal was good. I'd consider it a top tier deck, but I guess you just caught a meta of no Gardevoir, to be honest. Like, Gardevoir was taking up 10% ish of the meta, and honestly, I'll be totally honest. I've played against so many I didn't know. I played next to so many Gardevoir players, and none of them had a clue what they were doing. I'm being totally brutal here, but like, they were just trying to evolve on the Fright Knight. They were just I saw one person. He was against the Garbodor deck. The Garbodor didn't have a tool out, and he tried to hex the Garbodor with no tool on, and so that he could use his Dragonite. And then, so he put down his Dragonite and he was like, oh, Hex affects you. You could have just used the Dragonite. Like the whole day, I saw stuff like that from the Gardevoir players. So I don't know if many like top level players were actually playing Gardevoir. So I think that contributed a lot to the success of Yveltal.
I guess just quickly, we all sort of expected Gardevoir to be the biggest deck going into Dortmund.
Oh yeah, I picked my deck because of that. I was like, Mega Ray beats Gardevoir, and Gardevoir was huge in London, in Liverpool. So
I mean, having a quick look, Gardevoir was 16% in Liverpool in the top 32. Only 3% made it into top 32 in Dortmund. Charlie, as an outsider view, I guess, because you didn't actually attend Liverpool, so you sort of just had these kind of, I don't know, these sort of numbers in the top 32 list. Is it still what you expected? I mean, I think we all considered Greninja to be popular, but I mean, considering you played Pidgeot, what was going through your mind? I mean, this is shocking news to all of us to begin with, but it worked out pretty much in the end.
Yeah, well, I mean, looking at the numbers, you would expect like to at least see the same amount of Gardevoir in the top 32, especially with, you know, like I think I would say Gardevoir is the deck that gained the most from the Evolutions expansion. I mean, Dragonite EX is just so good, and you also get the Tech Rattata in there, and like there's no like new archetypes really. So why wouldn't Gardevoir be the thing that is sort of like played the most? That's what I thought, and I thought Greninja was in a decent place for the metagame as well. I mean, I guess that half definitely came true, but yeah, I didn't expect Yveltal to be so dominant. But with the lack of fairy decks, you have to expect, you know, Yveltal's going to come in, you know?
Yeah, of course. I mean, Yvel, we all know as something that's generally been consistent for the past sort of 2-3 years now. I mean, Yvel, Tamao, you've sort of piloted Yvel to a pretty good standing a season or two ago.
Yeah.
It's one of those decks I've always tried not to play because I never really got on with it, to be honest, Yvel EX. But we can definitely see the strengths in it. I mean, it's hitting hard very quickly with max elixirs. It's got Y Cyclone, so it's preserving energy. Tamao has too many distractions nowadays. Too many fans. Way too many fans as part of this chat. But I mean, look, moving on to like the top 8 of Dortmund, I guess is something we can sort of touch upon. And the biggest surprise was Raikou Electrode.
I think for me, the surprise was that it didn't win in a top 8 of 5 Yveltal.
Yeah. It lost to Yveltal as well.
Yeah,
so
that's the most surprising
fantastic
thing to me.
I believe Tobias, is it teasing?
Yeah.
He was playing the Raikou. He played against Alessandro of Italy, and yeah, apparently he sort of unfortunately dead drew. But with Electrode, it was something I've never really even considered. You once you like knock out your own Electrode and attach, you can get Enhance Hammered, which is quite interesting.
Yeah.
So you just kind of lose the ability that. I mean, it wasn't a greedy list, so it didn't play Ace Trainers or anything. From what I'm aware of, it didn't really play an Ace Trainer. It just played Ends. But yeah, it's an incredible field for it. It just maybe finally got caught out, I guess.
Yeah.
I guess one of those games where you just don't draw as well. I've experienced it in Liverpool, playing almost my auto win. But yeah, I mean the rest of the top 8. Glaceon Regice Garbodor was an interesting deck.
That's literally the most boring thing I've ever heard. I'm not going to lie. I don't know what you're saying there.
I mean, I'm going to be honest. Like,
I played against a Turbo Regice Glaceon deck. I somehow, as I said, I beat it 1-0, but it was the most boring thing I've ever had to play against.
Wow.
And literally, those kind of decks, you play one Ranger, you probably win because you just Lysander KO everything that's not active, and then just Ranger the last KO. So I think.
I mean, it was very well placed for the meta.
Oh yeah. Nobody played Ranger.
Yeah.
I didn't play Ranger. I wish I did.
That's
played
the thing, is no one
Regice
played
decks,
Ranger.
Of course, I mean, it's one of those things similar to me and Luke and of course yourself, Tamao, we all played Sizzle, and we didn't expect. Well, not that we didn't expect Volcanions. We didn't expect as many Volcanions.
I just don't understand why
In that
people
way.
are playing so much Volcanion. It feels so average. It really feels average, and
It's
like
definitely like the middle
you
ground
s-
deck.
Yeah, I believe it caters to both experienced and new players, in my opinion. Like newer players can play a Volcanion deck very well, and experienced players can play Volcanion even better. We've seen Ryan Morehouse play at top 32 last in Liverpool, and its popularity hasn't dipped. It went 19% in Liverpool, 16% in Dortmund. So its popularity is there. So it's quite odd that I missed it with Gyarados, but what can you do? I mean, Charlie, you had built it for Charlie,
Yeah,
mini Charlie,
little
baby
Charlie.
Charlie, baby Charlie.
yeah.
I guess it's because it is a very, let's say, user-friendly deck. I mean, it's quite straightforward.
Yeah, it's an easy deck to pick up and play. I think that might be the reason why most players who picked it, they probably picked it for that reason. Like, it's pretty easy to put together. Aside from the elephant in the room, Shaman EX, Volcanion EX comes in a tin. The non-EX Volcanion comes in a starter deck, so there's not a lot else you need other than staples and Shaman EXs after that.
Yeah, very true. Exactly. So it's actually quite. I mean, the Shamans are a bit annoying, but you can play the slower version with Octillery,
Yeah, that's true.
which I think is actually really good anyway. Because essentially you're just powering up Volcanions on your bench with the baby anyway. So being a bit slower is not too much of an issue. I mean, yeah. So we saw the top four of Yveltal Garbodor, and the eventual winner, which was Rainbow Road or Rainbow Force. I'm not really too sure what to call it, but yeah.
Which I'm surprised about, because I feel like you should just get punished for dead draws with that deck. To be honest,
I'm with you there. I'm definitely with you there.
It's so clunky.
But what, just based on the sort of number of actual Pokemon that you play in it, I guess it's just one of those.
Yeah, it's just stuff like that. It's all combo pieces at the end of the day. You need to hit elixirs, and like when I played against it, it should have been such a hard matchup. Like I feel like that deck versus Mega Ray is so good because it's a one price trade off, but I just felt so comfortable in the matchup knowing that I could end my opponent at any given time and enhanced hammer DCU off at the same time maybe, and they would lose the game because they would draw into nothing, pretty much, like just Pokemon and stuff like that. So
yeah, it's a very optimistic deck, I think.
I feel like personally I would have liked to see Yveltal win the tournament because I think that is a really good play. I thought it was a fantastic meta call for everybody who made that call, and I'm sad I didn't I didn't see that deck, especially the list. I love the list that Philip played. I think it was Philip. I hope it's Philip.
Is that the one with the 4 Yveltal EX?
Yeah,
I like that.
Like it's such a throwback to like 2 years ago how you played the deck back then, like 3 Ns for Sycamore, like just Y Cyclone and then N all day. That's exactly how I used to win tournaments 2 years ago. I'll be honest. Nothing has changed since then.
Yeah,
and
just
it's
to
still
confirm.
working today.
Just to confirm, it was Philip who came second.
Philip.
Yeah,
Cool.
it was Philip.
Good game,
so-
50-50.
A lot of respect for both of those two players. I mean, considering they both
They're clearly both insane at Pokemon as
yeah,
well.
and from what I know of last year as well, they've built decks which just kind of completely changed the metagame. I remember when I think that he originally was the one who played sort of Sizeltoad Giratina.
Yeah.
To such a high standing as well. I don't know which source it is. I believe both of them worked on the list together.
And one of them made Tina Hammers as well, the current Tina deck. So either way, they're both really innovative, and I feel bad for not knowing which one's done which, but they're both crazy good, and it's obvious, so they should both be happy.
I think the plan is to eventually get to know who they are in the end, I guess.
Yeah.
Especially with Charlie, you don't know too many players, considering you weren't at Liverpool and you just kind of turned up to Dortmund and played Pidgeot. But anyway.
Yeah.
All right, so going into London, it's only a week and a half away. What do we go from here? I mean, this whole meta game's completely blown wide open, in my opinion.
I think
Greninja was huge, as I mentioned. I'm gonna reiterate this point.
Yeah, it was.
Greninja just kind of stays around, and everyone played Greninja.
The top 8 does not do it justice because it was absolutely every single time I was playing a game, there was like a Greninja next to me.
Yeah, I played against 2 on the day, and both very good players. I played against Stefan Eriksson and Maze Brinningmeyer, who they were very good with the deck. So I was lucky to come away with only 1 loss out of those. I think for me, London is if you're not playing Ranger in your deck, you better have a good reason.
Yes, agreed.
And I'm predicting something with Garbodor and Heavy Parallel City is going to do well.
See, this is where I have an issue with this. So these were all things that we thought, like going from Liverpool into Dortmund, we were like, okay, we'll anti-meta it, and none of it paid off. None of it paid off whatsoever. So maybe the play is not to play Garbodor or Ranger because nobody will be playing those decks because people are expecting to be countered.
That could be a way to go about it. Think one step ahead.
I mean that's the one problem that we have in sort of trading card games in general, right? We metagame a particular tournament, and we have to consider whether other people will metagame the exact same way, and whether they'll counter the counter, and then it's kind of it becomes a bit of a loop.
It does. So just play whatever's the safest.
Is that the way? Is that the way forward going if you want to get top 32? I mean, knowing how difficult it is to qualify into Worlds now, 500 points. Is it that we should play safe and go for the top 32 and then maybe try to outplay our opponents in that position?
I really like safe for top 32. Really
okay.
Like safe. I know I will be playing safe. I will definitely be playing safe for London. I mean, obviously, I love to bring weird kooky decks.
Oh, no doubt.
To tournaments. Like I got my invite all last season with weird kooky decks, apart from like 2 tournaments, which got me most of my points. To be honest,
the 2 big ones.
The 2 that got me all of my points. Sure, but I got other points. I just feel like you might as well play safe for a huge tournament like that because the reward for top 32 is so good. Like you get so much money for just top 32, which is insane because it's not
prizes now.
Yeah, like it's not a huge ask really.
Yeah, I think just getting to top 32 and then being happy with that and then just thinking, oh great, I can play some more and whatever comes extra is just icing on the top. Yeah. I think it's safer to just play for the top 32 and then once you're in top 32, now you've got a chance to go for the big bucks.
Play your ass off when you're in top 32.
Yeah.
Instead of thinking in first. I mean, like as I mentioned, you looking at the meta and what we've seen. I mean, we've seen a Houndoom Bunnelby make top 32.
I'm surprised because I was sitting next to him on the lower tables. I'll be honest, and he got a game lost game 1. He got a game lost game 1. Think about that as a mill deck because he turned up late or something. He's apparently he won. I just wrote him off that set, but apparently he must have won it because that was win to survive status.
It's just by having something like, I don't know, did he play Vileplume in his list?
No. It was
it was straight Houndoom Bunnelby.
Raticates and Bunnelbys and stuff like that.
I'm not too sure how you make your opponent dead draw then, but I mean, if it happens, it happens.
And plus, he's a really good. He came 5th in Europe last season, so
he's come top like 4, top 8 in Worlds before, any fairly recently, maybe a year ago.
Possibly.
I believe he'd done really well. I mean, Charlie, I guess a question for you, considering you've as we denote you as the creative player in our group or friendship group, testing group, whatever you want to call it. Is custard creams. Is there scope for creativity in this current meta? Is probably what I should be asking.
I think there always is. I mean, you take a look at the top 32 decks that we saw for Dortmund, and how many of those we just weren't on anyone's radar. Like, there's always going to be something popping out of the woodwork.
Oh, I'm sorry, I'm thrown off. Definitely. I mean, because you played Pidgeot, is Pidgeot still an option? I mean, for London, nothing changes. People learn how to play against it if they have before.
Well, the only thing is, now that Raikou Electrode has sort of been revealed to the world, that's definitely not a matchup that Pidgeot can win, for sure. I mean, even if it wasn't Lightning type, Jolteon EX exists in that deck as well, which a deck with only basic Pokemon cannot win. Even with Pokemon Ranger, I don't think you could beat a Jolteon with Pidgeot somehow.
You're not doing enough damage, I guess, so you can't really knock it out.
Yeah, I mean, there's ways around it, but it would be very difficult. I think something with the same sort of deck core that I used, like the Garbodor, Heavy Parallel City. I think something with that will do well. Maybe not the Pidgeot part. I think that was probably the part that I felt most confident in after the tournament. The Garbodor part and the Heavy Parallel City, it was so clutch. Like, I played against 3 Rainbow Road over the weekend, and I beat them because, you just parallel them, you get the Garbodor up, and they're stuck at doing like 90 to 120 damage or whatever it is that they're doing, and it's just not enough.
Max, I guess.
Yeah,
right?
It's just not enough after that.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, considering you've got max versions, so based on what we're expecting for London is probably quite similar, I guess. A lot of, as you mentioned, would we expect a lot more Garb? I guess because Greninja's hype that it's got in Dortmund, we're expecting a bit more Garb, maybe a bit more Parallel City. So things like Mega Ray and Rainbow Force will probably be countered a bit in a way.
Yeah, the way that I see it is Garb hits a lot. I mean, it hits the Greninja, it hits the Volcanion, it hits... I mean, it does work in most matchups against something. And then Parallel City, it limits the bench of Rayquaza, Gardevoir, and Rainbow Road. And then also, if you flip it the other way, it's going to be doing stuff for you against like Greninja, Gyarados, Volcanion. There's a lot of like different applications to those two things that I think like something... I don't have any suggestions but something using those two things is going to have a lot of good matchups, I would say.
I mean, just quickly for Tamao, like we've seen the 2 tournaments before the 2 big regionals, sort of almost define the metagame, or we like to think so anyway. We had a lot of Gardevoir hype going into Liverpool, hence the deck that you and Luke Kirkham of Lottie cards. I mean, Max Voltage Gaming.
Hey! You just gave them free advertising.
Hey, I mentioned complexity. All right, me and Charlie are sitting here going.
I probably wasn't listening, sorry.
Yeah.
Can't remember that.
Yeah. So the deck we got a lot of we got a lot of value out of playing Scizor.
Oh yeah. I only played against 1 fairy deck, but sure.
Yeah, I mean. It happens. I think I played 2, so I think Luke played 2 as well. Going into Dortmund, we did see a bit more Scizor, albeit at the lower tables, unfortunately. We saw less Gardevoir. That could also have been the reason because of our top cuts in Liverpool. Will we see the similar thing? I mean, there's a lot of Yveltal in top 8. Will we see more Raikou decks? Will we see anything that counters Yveltal? Is there anything that actually counters Yveltal in general?
Yeah, Raikou. But other than that, maybe Gardevoir. That's about it. Otherwise, Yveltal's really solid.
Yeah, you've really got to play off of the weakness or the resistance. Like that's about it. It's too strong otherwise.
What I will say though is there is a Salamence EX coming out.
Oh, good point.
And that Salamence, I think that Salamence is.
Before you guys say anything, I don't like it. I looked at it immediately as someone said it the other day, and I was just like,
do you not just play that in Dark Tina?
Underwhelming.
Like, seriously?
Yeah, that
they have
Dark
2
Tina
EXs out.
Or
they have 2 EXs out. You're doing 110 damage for 3 energy. And that's with 2 EXs out.
But I feel like in a similar way, Parallel City can be played around against. Although it's very harmful, especially with a lot of EX decks where they play like Hooper and Shamans. You can almost get away with, if you see a Salamence, you can play around it in a way. You're gonna take damage, but you're gonna take it down.
Sure, you can play around it, but it's so awkward to play around. I think the card's super good.
I think it's the flip side of the Parallel City. Like you're not stopping your opponent having a ton of Pokemon out. You're letting them do it, and you're getting something good for yourself.
All right, I guess in my mind, one of the first things I thought of was going against. I know we're probably taking a bit too much time talking about going into London, but going up against maybe Greninja is kind of just like a dead card, right?
That's true. I mean, there's always going to be cards that you put in a list where you hit like a matchup where it just doesn't do anything. But
I mean, you don't have anything like you don't have anything like Battle Compressor nowadays where you can just sort of get rid of it. It can just be a completely, like Talonflame, like a useless card. I mean, you could put it down, you could then parallel it away, or you could, there's multiple ways of dealing with it in your deck. But I guess, I guess it is one of those techs you can just sort of half consider.
Yeah.
But yeah, as Tamao says, yeah, it does hit a lot of damage a lot quickly. But apparently it seems Luke may have awoken from his slumber, who may join us for the last sort of 10 minutes, I guess. But I guess that's sort of it for London. Going into London, what we are gonna try and do, there's a nice hanging leg into Mao's screen. What we're gonna try and do now is actually do a quick draft for London. Maybe pick 5 players each and 1 reserve member. That could mean that Luke might be in for a second draft. We also just have generally the rules. I think we can't draft ourselves. Tamao's definitely going to have the greatest of times. I don't know what he's in for tonight. He might be continue drinking in his suit. But yes, we're going to be drafting for London shortly, I believe. I mean, unless you guys have any other final thoughts going into London, anything that you guys are going to want to test, anything you've seen or expect, give me some information.
I sadly cannot attend London.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well,
it's very sad.
I was going to draft
Mic drop right there.
Yeah.
What I will say... Oh, sorry. No,
yeah.
Charlie, finish.
Oh, no, I was just going to say I'm counting on you guys to win the money and
I'm so sorry in advance.
Yeah, I completely apologize already. I mean, I actually have a pretty good record this season so far. I haven't been to a competitive tournament where I haven't cut or got points yet. So that's a good start for me, I think.
Well, I'm having a terrible season because I have 0 league challenge points and like some piddly top 64 regional points. So don't count on me. That's all I'm saying.
Currently, Dortmund haven't actually given my top 64 points, so I'm there chasing them for it. But it might have just been a mistake in my registration. But I mean, Charlie, you're going to be busy off in the wonderful Japan.
Yeah, good old the land of the sun. But yeah, it's the international challenge.
Goodies.
Like you only need the one big win, so just go for it.
All right, guys, we're back with Luke Kirkham's actually woken up from his dirty slumber. Sorry, Luke. So Luke Kirkham of Lottie Cards TCG team. Sorry, I'm gonna put that in every possible opportunity. All right, leave me alone. We'll give you a quick moment to actually tell us how your Dortmund experience was, I guess. What you thought going into the tournament, what you played, and how you done. Let's go.
So what I played was Zygarde Regirock.
Why?
I just think it was a solid deck. It was. I expected a lot more Greninja, and it absolutely destroys Greninja. I just wanted to play something fun. I know this season is going to be hard to get 500 points. I just want to play something fun. I want to enjoy a tournament or two along the way, as well as grinding. I tested it a couple of times. It was a bit of fun, and it actually seemed quite good. So I thought, let's give it a go.
Sounds good. How did you actually do in the tournament? Just remind everyone else that you haven't already told on the Omnipoke stream.
Day one, I lost the winning in the last round to another Zygarde deck, Zygarde and Carbink Vileplume. And then day two, I got top 64 on that as well. And then day two, I ended up playing in the League Cup, which was, I think it's 115 players League Cup, which is crazy. I think it's technically a cities. I was second seed after Swiss, doing 5-0-2. And then I managed to lose in top 8. My opponent had a 0-card hand and top deck Lysander.
Yeah, I was actually standing there watching. Unfortunately, I couldn't really say bye, but I was just like, oh, that's so broken. Luke's going to come back to us and just complain about RNG for about half an hour. I better leave now before he does.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, well played, man. Obviously, you've done pretty well again, especially with a deck that no one else is going to be playing, which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
I think
how I like to roll.
Yeah, we both. I enjoyed the tournament. I had fun as well playing Gyarados. All right, so what we're going to do, our main part of this last maybe 5-10 minutes, we're going to do a quick London Continental Championship draft. We are giving each other maybe 20 to 30 seconds per pick. So you can have a quick look. But other than that, it'll be fairly instantaneous. Luke's done one before, so he can pick his players again. We have done a quick randomizer online with a draft order. And our draft order is first place. We have Charlie, who's actually not going to be attending. London Continentals. Me in second. Typical. Third is Luke Kirkham, and 4 is Tamao Cameron. So, Luke, Tamao is just too busy. He just has too many fans. You know, he has groupies. He has the effects of playing Pokemon competitively, boys and girls. Anyway, right. So, should we start? I guess. Let's go. We start our draft.
Champion swagger. That's what it is.
Oh yeah. Well, I only came second, so I don't get that crap.
Exactly.
Charlie, go on.
All right. So first pick for me, Jake Welvin.
Oh.
Why would you first pick my first pick? He's always my first pick.
He is a pretty solid first pick, and that's why I picked him.
Actually, I do believe Tamao and Jake or Cake has some sort of agreement where they constantly just pick each other first.
There's no agreement. I just pick him first pick every time.
All right. Well, he seems to agree in the same way in the other way around. Anyway, so you've written that down. I'm gonna go for one of the shorts, and I need to figure out which one's which.
Brian
spoke about this. I'll go for Robin Schultz. Recently second at Dortmund. I think.
No, I think Philip was second.
Shut up! Don't do this to me. I'll take Robin Schultz. To be fair, I'll take either of them first, but I'll go Robin. So that's my first pick.
Just so check, what are the rules? Are we not picking each other and stuff, or what? What's the?
To be fair, I don't think it's an issue with drafting ourselves because I don't think any other than Charlie, we actually us three are actually in the tournament. But let's say we're not drafting each other.
Okay.
Because then you can't draft me, and I won't feel bad when you draft me as the reserve player in 6th.
Okay. So who did you pick now?
Robin Schultz. Top class player. He's going to win one of these. He's going to go to multiple Continentals, isn't he?
I'm going to pick Maddie.
Okay. Fellow team member.
Whoa.
Limitless.
Whoa.
I was thinking Limitless because of Schultz a moment ago, right?
Oh my god.
Sorry, Lottie Cards TCG team.
Max 5 gaming.
All right, Tamao.
I will pick Brad Curcio.
Pretty good.
And
Can't complain with
Mace Brenningmeyer.
I hope
Mace,
I'm spelling these correctly.
Mace was not picked in Omnipoke's draft. Oh no, he was fifth
I picked him.
in the 5th round.
That's riotously low, but those are my 2 picks.
Fair enough. So that does snake back round to Luke.
Oh, balls.
20 seconds, Luke, or you get a default player.
Okay, brilliant. Well done. I'll pick Philip Schultz.
Oh, man, I wanted both Schultz brothers. I'm not gonna lie. Right, so we can't pick ourselves, of course. Quickly through those names. Let's have a quick look at who was top 32. I don't know.
20 seconds, Alex, so you get a default.
Panic. It's gonna be a panic pick.
It's 10 seconds now.
Oh my god. How was that? That has not been either.
Upon no pick, you pick Shabam.
3.
Wow. I'm going Burt Walters. Consistently good.
Say again.
Burt Walters.
Oh, there you go.
As Ross calls him, Bolt.
Bolt Werters. Yeah, consistently good. So I can't really complain with that pick, to be honest. He's top 32 twice, isn't he? I believe. Luke, you'd know more.
What?
He top 8 Worlds, right?
He top 8 Worlds, top 32 Dortmund.
Yeah, he did.
32 Liverpool.
Top 16.
Top 16.
I think only top 64 Liverpool.
Alright, well, it's something. I'll take it.
Greninja's good at the moment, and he's a very, very good Greninja player, so expect him to be there or thereabouts if he plays that, especially.
Very good. Charlie, it's on to you, my friend.
All right, I get 2, right?
You
I'm going to go Stefan Eriksson.
Yeah.
And I'm going to go Scott Simmons.
I don't know why I done that. All right, Scott Simmons and Stefan Eriksson. Let's come back to me. I'm going to go with my boy Benji. Good old Benjamin Pham. I believe he's probably as good as Maze, so I'm going to rate him that highly. Maze probably won't like me saying that, but who knows.
I'm going to go with Kevin Baxter.
2 Americans gone already in our draft. Tamao with the snake.
Or was it me?
2 picks.
I missed like 2, so I'm gonna go for Philip Schultz, but he might
He's
have been
gone.
picked.
No.
He's
Hang
gone.
on.
Wait, hang on, Luke. What was your pick? I didn't hear.
Kevin Baxter.
Oh, there you go. Right.
Okay. Let me get my list up. Please shut up.
Luke, you said
how about
your second pick, right?
Sorry?
You said Philip in your second pick.
Yes.
has Simone Zucchelli been picked?
No, he hasn't.
No.
That one. I'll take that guy.
Right. Okay.
Who else is in my team? So got I don't even know if David's even playing. I got
David who? Hockman.
yeah.
He's announced on the
He's
stream.
commentating.
Yeah, he's commentating.
Was he on the commentating team?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
As is the Joe from Omnipoke, I've heard.
Oh yeah.
Who? You what? You talking about Jack? I only know Jack. He's the famous one, right?
Yeah, he's the good one.
I'm gonna pick.
Ooh.
I'm gonna pick Martin Yanu.
Ooh, okay.
Wow.
Pick. Yeah.
Raticate Houndoom.
He's a dude.
Is do you know how to spell that surname at all?
Janous. Fun story. At Liverpool, he came up to me and shook my hand because I came 4th and he came 5th in Europe last season, even though we were both on the same number of points.
Oh,
so I got a free trip to London, which I live right next to, and he gets $1,000. And then Pokemon gets in touch with me and it's like, oh, you can have $2,000 instead. So I'm ready to shake his hand again.
what a guy.
I have another pick, right?
No, you just
I'll
pick
go.
two.
No, you picked 2 already. You can't have
No.
3 picks. You
No
cheat.
pick.
You pick Simone and Martin.
You're giving
Oh.
Luke like unlimited time because of your
Okay.
indecision.
Okay, sorry.
You better be.
Okay, I am going to go for Andrew Emerson.
You rate him really highly. This is pretty good actually of you. I think he's a really good player.
He's done very well this year so far.
He is. He's very good last year in my opinion as well.
Yeah.
Puts a lot of time into the game. I'm going for the other Italian, Nicolo Castignoli, I believe is his surname.
Really nice guy.
Really nice guy.
Yeah.
I mean, he was the guy who played items on the trainer lock against you.
He was, but
Have you got a surname there, Charlie? You all right with that?
I've got my best guess.
Castignoli. Castignoli.
Oh, nailed it.
Oh boy.
Right, I got another 2 coming now.
So final 2 for Charlie, right? Wait, the
Yeah,
final 2?
aside from the reserve, yeah.
Ah, yeah, okay.
Now, see, this is where my lack of knowledge of Pokemon players' names comes in. Oh God, who even plays this game?
I was gonna name a name and I would have been shouted at.
Yeah,
for
gimme
it.
it, Alex, gimme. Oh dear.
I think the most consistent player last year. Why are you laughing? That is a legit comment.
no, it's not.
Nicholas Pierce.
Oh boy.
Yeah, well, he's commentating, isn't he?
Oh, that's a shame.
9th at
Yeah.
Worlds would be a pretty good 4th pick, but
Charlie, I'm gonna give you 10 more seconds before you
Oh,
default to
God.
picking like.
Shivam into default.
oh no.
I'm joking.
Who do I?
Take it back.
I'm going to take Carl Blake
No, but
because
to
I
be
know his
fair-
name.
And so I think that's a good pick.
Yeah,
But
I
he
mean,
turns up at big tournaments.
second at a regional, it's pretty
Cheap.
good.
What?
Ah.
Final pick. I'm gonna try and find an American for my reserve pick.
I gotta pick one more.
Uh,
I think I might have to go for just someone that I know their name. So I'm going to go Adam Hawkins.
oh boy, Jake and Adam on Charlie's team.
I know, it's an unbeatable combination, really.
One's got to do well, right?
Yeah.
Poor Adam at Liverpool.
One's got to do well. Poor Adam. I feel like I should go for. What have I got? I've got a German. I've got a Dutch player. I've got an Italian. I don't have a UK player.
Well,
I don't think I do either.
I'm gonna find a UK player. Hang about. He's a good UK player. Don't want to look at last year. Ryan Morehouse ain't playing this year, in this tournament. So
that's the picture you want in this stream, so
sorry.
Yeah, pick me. I'm sure I'll
Pick
get you loads of
Charlie.
points.
I'm gonna put some faith into him. I'm gonna go Yasin.
Yeah.
Cool.
I think it's a 5th pick. He's a good player. I know he's a good player. Bit of luck goes his way, and he's a quality player. So, although I'm gonna rib him to him every single time he's failed at seniors. So,
well, that means it's me.
It
It's
does, yeah.
for your final 5th pick before we have a reserve.
Oh, crap, hold on, my battery's dead.
Typical.
There we go. Sorry, my battery died. Or almost died.
Your battery died. We can still see ya.
Let's have a look. Who do we want? So we get 2 more picks or 1?
One pick
you
and
have-
then 1 reserve.
Yeah.
Okay.
trying to figure out what Americans are coming.
I'm going to pick Simon Eriksson.
I was gonna shout out what they screamed out. Luke was there.
All right. So I have two. Well, I know my two, so I'm gonna go Jay Lesage for my final pick. And for my reserve, I'm gonna go for my teammate Fatih Akdemir.
You're gonna have to give me a spelling on that one.
Similar to me, we've both had a average tournament so far.
Could he have a big tournament in him?
He's good.
Yeah.
He's a really good player. So
Can I get a spelling for that one?
Ahmed. Fatih's Fatih.
Oh.
Is it AH? I thought it was AK.
Is it AK? Ahmed. I don't think it's Ahmed, is it? Ahmed.
It's
you just pronounce it with a K, but it's a H.
Like on his
purely speculating.
On his Facebook, it's AKM.
All right, it's AK then. I was
AKMED.
Yeah.
Honestly, I wouldn't be able to tell
you.
I just put Fatih AKM because that's what he is on Facebook.
All right, sure.
Luke, with your reserve pick. I don't even know if I want to pick an American right now. I don't know any.
I'm not. He hasn't played much or tested much this season, but considering his age, he's always done sort of relatively well at bigger tournaments. So I'm going my little brother Corey.
Ah.
Put all his influence into his little brother. Can't pick himself, so he goes for the next best / better. What?
Yeah.
I'm gonna go for the guy who's yet to make any impression on Masters. I'm gonna go Jesper.
All right.
Jesper Eriksson. He's a reserve pick anyway, so he probably won't be useful. But one player drops out, we'll take him.
All right. So it's just down to my final pick then. As it's a reserve, am I allowed to pick a VGC player?
Yes. As long as he plays in TCG.
As long as he plays in TCG.
I mean, even if he doesn't, and you have a guy who drops out, he counts.
I mean, they earn the same
only.
CP, so we're going off a CP, right?
CP
sure.
in the TCG tournament.
Fine, fine. I'll go for Sam Taylor.
I just kind of realized it's not just US who get like a free trip over. It's like across the
there's
world,
other
right?
continents, yeah.
Yeah.
Not that I know anyone else from the other continents, but
exactly.
Sorry, guys.
He's not sorry.
Yeah, see, me and you think
less.
alike. Not at all.
Where the hell is Australia?
I barely play this game, so it's all good. All right, Charlie, you want to reel off those lists to us again? Just quickly run down our teams. I just want to see how happy I am going.
Sure. All right, so I've got Jake Welvin, Stefan Eriksson, Scott Simmons, Carl Blake, Adam Hawkins, and my reserve is Sam Taylor. Alex has Robin Schultz, Bert Walters, Benji Pham, Nicolo Castagnoli, Yassin Balella, and Jesper Eriksson. Luke has Mehdi Hafi, Philip Schultz, Kevin Baxter, Andrew Emerson, Simon Eriksson, and Corey Kirkham. And Tamao has Brad Kershaw, Mace Brenningmeyer, Simone Zucchelli, Martin Janus, Jay Lesage, and Fatih Akmed.
Not bad there. There's actually another player I actually wanted to pick, but moving on. All right, guys. So that is our video chats, podcast, ramble, rubbish. Luke's joined us for a draft. I guess thank you very much, and we'll come back for another one. Hopefully, either next week or after the next big tournament. Say bye, guys. Do something. Wave.
Bye, guys.
See you later.
Boy. He's just messaged saying, I've fallen asleep. I'm gonna go grab a cheeseburger from McDonald's, and then I'll come back on. No, come now.
What an idiot! Why can't he just wait until after the fucking video? Fucking cheeseburger.